Hey everybody, welcome to the Black Women in Biz podcast. I am here with Jamie Blunt, the Executive Director of Brown Girls Mentoring. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you
I'm
for having
excited.
me. This is gonna be good because this is genuine, authentic stuff.
Yes, and because my oldest daughter is a part of Brown Girls Mentoring, and so she loves the program. I love the program. So tell us about like what inspired you to start it.
Honestly, to turn pain into purpose,
Mm.
to turn my own trauma into something that was beautiful and something that I can heal through.
Yeah.
Now that I'm looking back on it, and Dad will be 8 years old really
Oh
soon.
wow.
Yes. It really was my healing place.
Yeah.
I was on a journey probably in my mid 30s,
Okay.
and I was telling a girlfriend, like, I wonder if I was somebody would have affirmed me, or if my mom had the tools, or
Mm-hmm.
if I wasn't in, or was in certain community, how would
Yeah.
my adult decisions have been a little bit different? And
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, I just wish I had something like that growing up. I wish there was something I can do like that. And
Yeah.
she was like, just do it. I was like, what? And she was like, no, let's do it.
Yeah.
I gave her the title co-founder because I felt like she just pushed me. Her name is
Yeah.
Rolanda, and our friend Tia. And so here we are almost 8 years later, and that's really the magic of it, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
And as former Black girls, now Black
Hmm.
women, like
Yes.
we know how important it is for us to have safe spaces
Hmm.
to learn
Yes.
positive
Yes.
things from older Black women.
Hmm.
And something for me as a woman, as a mother now, I feel like I've learned to give grace
Mm.
to parents, grandparents. Me and my mom, we've definitely had a rocky relationship, but it's been so much better in the last few years. I think
Hmm.
because as you get older, you realize like, okay, like
This was
she
not
didn't
me.
have the things that I have, the experience that I'm
Absolutely.
having to be more self-aware.
Hmm.
So giving grace is
Yeah.
so important. So it's great that, there's something for
Yeah.
girls to learn from.
That is my story in a
Mhm.
nutshell. I
Mhm.
mean, even when I did my TED Talk, I led with the tension and the
Mhm.
unhealthy relationship with me and my mom.
Mhm.
And back then, probably just being very frank, it was depression and anxiety, bad
Mhm.
behavior in school, in and
Mhm.
out of Franklin County Juvenile,
Mhm.
um, teenage pregnancy. I found out I was pregnant when I was 15, which is now my 27-year-old daughter. Left school at an early age, but
Mhm.
all of the things that statistically say kids with trauma and
Right.
depression and anxiety have a way of, I guess, pushing out, for lack of better words.
Mhm.
And now though, like you said, within the last, I would say probably about 4 years, 4 to 5 years,
Mhm.
girl, I looked at my mom, was like, you are a G.
Yeah.
Now after having my own 4 children and then
Mhm.
2 adult children, I realized that she just did the best she could.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
think I look at the fact that we could have ended up in so much, I guess, caught up in the system. We
Yeah.
could have been adopted. We could have been
Mhm.
taken from her.
Mhm.
We could have been a lot of things.
Yeah.
And it wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but she
Mhm.
did what she had to do to keep us together.
Right.
Yeah, so I have a whole new level of grace for my mom. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with the program, tell the people I know, but
Okay.
like the ages of the different girls and the different stuff
Oh,
that you do every week.
it keeps. I always feel like we grow and evolve more.
Yeah.
Well, our ages are kindergarten through 8th grade, and I've had a principal of mine. Shout out to DJ Mr. King, and Principal Mr. King. He got me working with freshmen, and I'm
Oh,
like,
nice.
I said that I was gonna say in
Hey,
eighth
great.
grade. But we are starting to realize because of the pandemic,
Mhm.
we are defined by our grade, but we're really not there socially, emotionally, right?
Yeah.
We are seeing that with our girls, our kids, period,
Mhm.
across every spectrum. But what we do is social and emotional development. I'd say what we do is hard work.
Yeah.
For me, I love the fact that our girls, we talk about vision boards. What does that look like?
Mhm.
We talk about character development. That's one of our pillars. Being in tune to self-awareness. That's one of our pillars. So I love the fact that they had yoga this past with Shannon Taylor.
Shannon said she fell asleep during meditation. I'm like, girl, really?
That's some good meditation.
Right.
Some good meditation. Shannon did her job. Listen, but I mean, those are the things that we take for granted. Or I should say, we're more intentional now, but we used to take for granted. And I'm like, to give them those tools to understand the power of breathing. I am 43, and my therapist tells me, breathe. And just rejuvenating the body and your nervous system is a reset. So to give them those tools so early, it'll be second nature by the time they're sitting in these seats like we are right now, right? And so for me, that's my job. I don't claim to be leadership development, even though I fall in that bracket. I really feel like I want to get my girls comfortable with who they are, understanding who they are, and understanding the power that they possess, and that their parent or guardian who brings them to that session is invested in them, which is why we do the work with our parents for parent workshops hosted every 6 weeks. So I'll let you know when yours is coming up next cohort.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I've also loved that you, outside of like the regular programming, there's also like the TED Talk that you did where the girls got to come. And then, well, we're recording this February 11th, but there's an event this weekend. And the girls just get to see, you know, different types of Black women, positive, business owners, elected officials, just seeing like the possibilities of where they can go.
And that's the staple. Like, I don't know if I can get that on a t-shirt, but I'm thinking maybe we can figure this out. Because I didn't see that. I'm homegrown Mount Vernon Avenue. I seen Black working women who were single parents. As of right now, I believe that the Linden community is one of the highest areas of single parents in Black homes, and between Livingston Avenue over in that area. So for me, I was in that sector growing up in Poindexter Village and Trevor Heights. You've seen Black mothers who were doing their best, but they weren't the Claire Huxtables. You know what I'm saying? Or they weren't Dwayne Wayne's mom, Patty LaBelle, coming with the stuff to college because you didn't even know you were going to go to college, or you didn't know too many people who went to college. So for me, the program, as it evolved and as that I gave vision, I was like, I don't like I'm going to say it because this is what I say this in speeches and talks. I'm for the underdog. I'm for the baby or the girl who is like, I'm not a Delta Gym. I don't know what fraternity or sorority life looks like, or my mom isn't well connected. She's just trying to do the best that she can. And those are the babies in the community that I desire to reach. I'm very intentional with, I don't care where God takes this program. I want to make sure we stay in Columbus Park and Recreation Centers. We know statistically girls in the inner city really don't have much to do. And when they don't have much to do, I can speak to that. You get engulfed in things that you shouldn't be involved in.
What's the saying? An idle mind
is the devil's workshop. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's where we see teenage pregnancy. We see truancy. We see fighting. We see violence. And so, I mean, I'm for the girl who just I want something to do on a Saturday. I know that that's hard to believe, but there still are girls who just want something to do and they want to feel a part of something. You know?
That was really the primary reason for me with my daughter, for getting her a part of the program. She's like me. Like, I was like kind of a nerdy, kind of goofy kid too, and sometimes struggled, you know, with friendships and things. But obviously I know her heart and I know like how sweet she is. So, even just exposing her to different people, even outside of school. I mean, she's in Girl Scouts too, but her troop is like primarily girls of color. And so, that, and then also hearing the things that I'm saying from another source.
Absolutely.
Because I know when my mom would say something like, whatever. And then somebody else is like, oh, wow, that's great.
My mom did that, but it's different coming from you. Exactly. Yeah, I think that's the work. That's where we always, and you've heard me in our parent meetings, we are a part of your village. We come alongside of you, and we can't do the work without you communicating what you need from us. But also being the support system because parents need support systems.
Yeah.
I look at that and I think it sounds like you could speak to it too. It wasn't that your mom did not love you or that she was just, you know, all of the bad things or the stereotypical things. I just feel like maybe that village and that support wasn't as healthy or either it wasn't there. And so I think cycles repeat itself, right? I know my grandmother did not talk about a lot of things. So my mom did not talk about a lot of things. And then we have family members who did not talk about a lot of things. But I'm like, you're in a new era of now, like I tell my kids, I am healing so you can take it another generation. So it can be you and your kids. And being intentional about also being proud of who I am. I can remember playing a time where I wasn't proud of who I am. And I mean, down to the skin that I was in, down to just the need to be accepted and validated by others. And I think as you get older and as you have a desire to heal or wonder why I do the things that I do, that's when the hard work begins. And so for me to have a space where girls can start thinking that way earlier, like I'm fine with who I am or I can improve, but I'm okay with who I am. And that's why our tagline is it's okay to be you. Yeah.
And, you know, I feel like, so just echoing the things that you said, I know for me growing up, always being a darker skin tone, always being plus size. And I mean, now there's more, inclusiveness with things that we see, but I was born in 1991, so it wasn't like that. And so that was really important for me too, is for her to be somewhere where the programming really is about confidence and self-assurance. And I also want her to learn how to be a leader. And if you are in a friend group and people are doing stuff where you're like, I don't know about that, that you will feel so sure of yourself that you'll be like, yeah, I'm out.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not, this isn't me.
Absolutely.
You know?
And I love the fact that I still have parents that say that their girls still implement some of the things, and they're like seniors. One is getting ready to go to OSU, and I was just on the phone with her mom not too long ago, and she was like, you know, my baby got to mind her own. She was like, she's always been that way, but brown girls enhanced it. She's like, she still remembers some of the stuff that she learned. And I'm like, she's getting ready to go to college, so that lets me know, like, and I think being in a space of community, sometimes we're wondering if the seed penetrated the soil. You're like, did they, outside of their parents telling me, but when you hear those moments, it's like, yes, they got it. I did my job.
That makes me think, you know, when we're thinking about pressure, so I mean, I've had social media since I was like 12 years old.
Really?
It was like the first time I was on any social media site.
Okay.
Throwback, there was a social media platform called Xanga, which was basically like a private, well, not private, an anonymous public journal.
Okay.
So you could write journal entries and have like an anonymous name.
Okay.
Of course, people could read your journal entries and be like, I think I know who this is, or I think I know who she's talking about.
Right.
And then from there, transition into MySpace and then Facebook and so forth.
Okay.
I was on Instagram and Twitter, well now X, when they first came out. So I've been on social for a while.
Okay.
And so Tegan has asked me for a phone a lot.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't think you're ready. I got my first phone when I was 12, but there wasn't like apps on it.
Absolutely.
And so I imagine that with some of the older girls, that social media is a big conversation. How can we, just, even for me, having an 8-year-old daughter, I don't plan to get her a cell phone until like hopefully high school.
Right.
Or maybe not. I don't know.
I was going to say probably sooner than high school, but even if sooner than high school, you still have those restrictions. You know?
Yeah. So what kinds of things maybe we should just be mindful of with that you're saying with girls without, you know?
So last summer was really an epiphany for me as far as how girls, because I had middle school / high school for a summer camp.
Okay.
And I haven't really seen my littles, which I call the littles, 5th grade and under. I haven't really seen them in that space of like they're glued to their phones.
Yeah.
But my middle school, high school, I had to be intentional with telling them to put your phone away. I think, and this is just me being a mom to 26, 19, 18, and so soon to be 17. I have to even tell my own kids, put your phone down, because I believe that we are all just processing things all day, every day.
Yeah.
And so if you're not careful, the things that you are processing are taking a toll on your spirit.
Yeah.
They have you questioning if your life is okay. They have you questioning if you have enough.
Yeah.
Is this the life I should be living? Is this where I should be at right now? And it just fills you with insecurity if you're not careful. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, just being intentional with telling your kids, put the phone down.
Yeah.
Put the phone down. I don't even care if it's for a couple of hours. Just let your body and your mind reset.
Yeah.
You know, and understand that people only, like I said, people only post you on they only post certain things.
Yeah.
Or I should say everybody's who not they supposed to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's all curated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. These people now you can go to college and to become an influencer.
Yeah.
Never thought I would see that, but at the end of the day, it's an illusion. It's the matrix. I remember before I took my break from social media, there was this clip going around of Prince saying, computers are cool. They're great, but don't let the computer become you. And really, that's all we're holding in our hand every day, a handheld computer. And we have to be careful to detach reality from this computer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I tell parents all the time, if you can, and then live in the word by myself or for myself and my own children, put your phone down.
Yeah.
When's the last time you took a social media break? When's the last time you just deleted Instagram for maybe a day?
Right.
And I have to do it with baby steps because, again, I'm a mother to 4.
Right.
So I have to also accept the harsh reality that they have their own phones.
Yeah.
But I can also read. I thank God to some degree when I look at my kids. I can tell when just stuff is just going. Have you ever just looked at somebody and like, what is on your mind? I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about this. And I got school. And then I want to do this. Okay. Well, when's the last time you just unplugged? Like unplugged from everything. So I strongly encourage parents unplug, and you unplug too.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it's hard working in social media, but I have like my work phone and my personal phone, so I can try to keep things separate. Also holding myself accountable with screen time. So making sure it's like, okay, I've been working all day, like I don't need to be on my phone, but it's hard.
It is.
Even when Tegan was little, she would put her hand on my phone and be like, no more.
Yes. My grandbaby.
Like, okay.
My grandbaby. She's like, are you going to shut your computer now? Yes. So when I tell you I got a little person hold me accountable, I completely get it. Yes. So tell me, how do you navigate this 2 phones? Because I've been really on this thing about getting one.
Yes. So for me, at first I was just all on one phone.
Yeah.
But I'm a workaholic.
Okay.
So having access to anything work related, if I see it, I'm gonna respond. I can't not respond. I can't ignore it. Like I have to do something.
Yes.
And so, I decided to, and also my work phone has been my phone number since I was 12 years old.
Okay.
So I get a lot of spam, likely, it's just nonstop.
Yeah.
And so I decided like, okay, I'm going to get 2 phones and completely separate work from personal so that sometimes, like if we're going to dinner, I take my personal phone, but I leave my work phone at home.
Oh,
or I might leave my work phone on my desk on Friday and I don't look at it again until Monday morning.
Okay.
So,
how long did it take you to get there?
It took some time.
Okay.
It took some time. I can admit that some nights at the end of the day, I still take both phones upstairs just to do one more thing before I go to bed. So it's not perfect.
I got you.
But it has created better boundaries between me and work.
Absolutely.
Because I definitely did not have boundaries at all.
This is something I'm talking about in therapy, so it's good to hear.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into the habit of not taking my laptop upstairs too. And it stays in the office or if I'm working downstairs. I've gotten better. Not perfect. Some nights
Yeah.
I have to,
It's
okay,
a
I got
process.
stuff to do.
Absolutely.
But I've gotten better.
I got
So
you.
I'm just trying to, find ways to detach. Something I've been thinking about with my primary business is
Mm-hmm.
taking a stance as far as like social responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
working in digital marketing
Yeah.
and making sure that I'm even making sure people know about parental controls or
Mm-hmm.
I just saw there's always like things going on with video games when kids
Mm-hmm.
are playing games online with
Yes.
strangers.
Yes.
Um, I spoke about digital safety
Mm-hmm.
at somewhere in the past, so I want to do more of that too.
I love that.
Being in the work, but also being
Yeah.
responsible.
I just learned. So we we're at one of our schools today for programming, and so it's self love month. It's self love month.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way we think at
Yeah.
Brown Girls. So for February, we're just like hanging out and talking. Of course, it's the V Day on Friday. So today was just parties and games and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But they were telling me some things about roadblocks.
Yeah,
And
that's one of them.
they were like, Miss Jamie, we have to be careful. And my parents or my guardian
Mm-hmm.
is, monitors who is on the game with me and what
Mm-hmm.
they're saying often. And I was like, I couldn't imagine that. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, my kids,
literally
like I said,
video
my youngest
games.
is
Mhm.
16 now.
Mhm.
So I did not know that this world existed.
Yeah.
And even at roadblocks, like
Mhm.
people, I guess you can create an account
Mhm.
and you don't have to necessarily be a kid to play this
No.
game.
Mm-mm.
That's wild.
Yeah, and I love true crime
Mm-hmm.
and different shows. Like there was a show I watched called Undercover Underage,
Okay.
and there was a woman. She was super petite,
Mm-hmm.
so if you saw her, she looked like a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was her business. Like she pretended to be a kid online. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, she was catching social workers, guidance counselors, police officers, teachers, coaches,
That's
because
scary.
they're, getting in these chat rooms and she's explicitly saying like, oh, I'm 12 or I'm 13.
Right.
And they didn't care. They didn't
Mm-hmm.
care.
That's sad.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
scary.
That's something I've definitely talked to her about too. I had her watch some movie. It's an old movie, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, no, we're gonna watch this movie
Uh-huh.
where a girl was talking to a guy online.
Mm-hmm.
He said his age kept changing. It kept going up and up and up.
Right.
She meets him in person and things don't go
Right.
as planned.
Right.
But I had her watch it because, I definitely tell her like I don't want to scare you,
Yeah.
but I want you to understand what's going
The
on in the
harsh
world
reality.
and that
Absolutely.
you can't be online telling people where you go to school, where you
Right.
live, because that's kind of what I've seen where it's like they'll kind of bait you
Yeah.
into questions like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, what time is it there? What's the weather there? That's
Right.
how they narrow down like
Yeah.
where you live.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's why I don't want her on social media
I
just
completely
yet,
agree. No. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you're right. I think
Yeah.
that's a good decision. I mean, for me, I watch some of our brown girls who are now middle schoolers
Mhm.
and they have like Instagram and stuff like that. And I'm just
Mhm.
like, please begging with their parents, like, please just watch them.
Mhm.
And I think for me, it wasn't even from the predatory standpoint.
Mhm.
It's that I'm downloading so much, you're telling me why I'm not okay to be
That
me.
too.
You
That
know what I
too.
mean?
Mhm.
Because hell, as a grown up, I have to decompress or I have to
Right.
disconnect.
Right.
I think I had shut down my social media. Well, my Facebook is still up, but my IG account,
Mhm.
I literally probably went off at a week after my birthday. My birthday was December 28th.
Mhm.
Like I needed a reset. I needed to
Yeah.
refocus. I wanted to
Yeah.
focus on my goals for
Right.
Jamie, mind, body, and soul, and then business
Mhm.
and family.
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes, have you ever looked at your screen and be like, I did not know
Like,
I did
oops.
that.
Or when TikTok keeps telling me, you've been on here for
Girl, because
2 hours.
they have gotten me these last 2 days with Brother
I'm like,
Kendrick.
Miss,
Listen, yes, girl, I keep watching all the TikToks with
Yes.
Kendrick Lamar because I'm just in love with that right now. But I
Mhm.
completely get it. Like
Yeah, I
that's
watch
the
so
only
many
social
like
media.
people breaking down the
Yes,
whole performance. Like,
yes,
oh, I missed that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm glad it's not just me.
No, not
Yes.
just you, not just you at all. You know, I remember in school being on MySpace, the
Mhm.
drama with
Mhm.
like the whole top 8 thing. And
Uh-huh.
also I think back to MySpace, and if I would have really harnessed coding, I used to be
Mhm.
able to break MySpace to
Mm-hmm.
do stuff that wasn't a part of the original settings.
Oh, wow.
I would be like so rich right
Yes, you
now
would.
because I would know how to code.
Yeah.
But I remember that drama, so I can't even imagine just the
Yeah.
drama with
Yes. Yes.
Instagram and
Mm-hmm.
stories and this
Mm-hmm.
person. Oh, I saw this person. I was into watching some drama with, like the Ball brothers,
Mm-mm.
D'Angelo Ball and all them. I used to watch, they
No.
had a
Oh,
show on
yes.
Facebook.
Yes.
So I was
Sorry.
all in that drama over the
Okay.
weekend. Like, oh yeah, there's the girl he's cheating with. He's in the background.
Yes.
Like, I can't
Yes.
imagine that now in
Oh,
middle school, high school.
it's on a whole different level. And
Oh
then
my God.
one of our schools, we had to have like a situation where we had to talk to the girls because it was taken on a snap. And
Mhm.
snaps, delete in
You're
24 hours.
right.
So just little things going
Mhm.
back and forth on Snapchat.
Yeah.
These are my fifth grade babies.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, this is a real thing.
Yeah.
But I also wonder, I can't help but wonder, what are we allowing our babies to see and what kind of
So,
conversation?
yeah.
Exactly.
Even with
Mm.
music, I'm a huge rap fan.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically women.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite rapper of all time is Nicki Minaj.
Yes.
Been a fan since 2007. I'm
Yes.
definitely a Barb.
Yes. Yes.
But, as Hagen's getting older and I'm listening to Sexy Red, I'm like, ooh, you can't listen to this
Right.
kind of music
Right.
around you anymore. Because now
Absolutely.
you're asking questions.
Yes.
I'm like,
Yes.
oh, you're listening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Yep.
even I had to be more mindful. Like, okay, so now I've been like more into jazz music.
Girl,
So
that's
that's what
my
I
jam.
listen to when my kids are in the car or they're around. Like, okay, I
Absolutely.
can't listen to.
Yep.
I can listen to Big Mama with my AirPods.
Yes.
But not
Absolutely.
with you guys
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's the space I'm in because I have a granddaughter,
Mhm.
and I have kids so I'm like, we have an intergenerational household.
Yeah.
Like my husband is almost 50, he'll be
Mhm.
50 in a few months.
Mhm.
And then it's me, I'm
Mhm.
6 years younger than him.
Okay.
And so then, like I said, we have all these intergenerational babies.
Mhm.
Everybody's at a different crossroad doing something
Right.
different. So, music for me is first of all, just like my go-to for
Mhm.
decompression, for to work to and all
Yeah.
those things. Some days it's Chuck D and
Mhm.
Public Enemy, depending on how I'm feeling,
Right.
and it's Black History Month.
Right.
Or my workout, or either it's Kendrick Lamar or it's J. Cole.
Mhm.
Because again, I have all this intergenerational, or it's Earth, Wind, and Fire. You just never know what you're gonna get. But Sexy Red every now and again,
Yeah.
and I'm like my workout gym, and when I'm in the basement, I'm like, okay, just as long as the grandbaby up,
Right.
ain't up. But
Right.
for the most part, it's all safe music when it's with
Yeah.
her because, like you said, they're listening, and
Mhm.
she's getting ready to be 5, and so me and my husband, sometimes some of the stuff that she says to us, we're like, oh yeah, she's paying
Like,
attention.
ooh.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly. So to be in that space is definitely mindful.
Yeah.
Because I was just at a retreat for a board that I sit on, and somebody said that they were helping a young lady style for herself for her first job interview. And they said, well, how do you want to be styled? She was like, Sexy Red. And it was just like, it's one of those things where the reality of it is, what is she saying, right? Because you can't blame her for what she thinks is right. But the reality is, what is she saying? And for me, when I think about BGM, that's what makes me think about the Erica Crawleys, the women who we have coming in front of the girls, whether you're an entrepreneur or career-driven women, career-driven woman, Black woman of color, because what are we seeing? Because you have a tendency to believe what I see is what I can believe I can see myself as, right? So it's important to see what you're putting in front of your girls. And I don't think that we all have the tools and all have it figured out. But if there's something that inside of you that wants to change, because I would tell anybody, I'm a neighborhood girl through and through. I know how to turn it on and I know how to turn it off. My girls have seen both sides. But ultimately, I want them to see the better part of me. You know what I mean? And I think because I want the better part of them for their life, my girls are not rough around the edges at all. They were in my neighborhood. We had stopped at the corner store and everybody hit the lock button. I'm like, I'm getting back in the
I'll be right back.
Exactly. I'm getting back in the car. I was hollering at the people. It was the East Side reunion. We talking, and my kids was like, exactly. I'm like, I go to open the door. So I know that they're not where I'm from, but I also thank God that I've had enough wisdom and people who poured into me that they got to see the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
They got to see her mom when she was grown and they grew up with me. And the fact that they're still standing is amazing. So, but they also get to see the woman that God is transforming into, because it's definitely not my doing. It is definitely like not my doing. But that's why I say I don't give up on you. I just feel like you got to be exposed to more to see that you want more
exposure.
Yeah.
More opportunities.
Absolutely.
Seeing different things, not just, we love rap music, we love sports, but seeing us beyond that, seeing us as an elected official or sitting on a board or owning an organization. Is super important. Yeah, I love when I have the chance to take, even though sometimes they act crazy, but anytime I can take the girls with me to a meeting or to a client event, I'm bringing them along so they can see me working and seeing, all the things. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I remember I had to. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I remember one of my associates / girlfriend / brown girl mommy, all the things. She had did a piece on. She had did her dissertation, and I was one of her people that she interviewed.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Who was the person who you feel like got you through your stage in life that you was like, I look up to her?" And it was Claire Huxtable.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it was Claire. I just thought she was, she's still beautiful to me, Felicia Rashad. I'm like, she is gorgeous. She's smart. She's snappy. She know how to run her household. And they respect her. Like, you don't always have to like me, but you won't love me, and you know that I love you.
Right.
You know, but she was just the epitome of the woman that I desired to be.
Yeah.
Just on every level.
Yeah.
So representation, like you said, seeing something and holding on to it is very important.
Super important.
Yeah.
And you talked a lot too about like community, and Brown Girls is a community, with the parents and the girls and everything. So, how was your like community growing up? Like, what did that look like for you?
I feel like there was a blended mix.
Okay.
When I say that, because we always think of, well, I'm not gonna say we always, but we tend to think about community being family, right? But community for me was like my 8th grade teacher, Miss Harris. Shout out to Miss Harris, girl, hey. She said she was at, let me see, Starling Middle School.
Okay.
I had caught an assault charge in 7th grade at Eastmore Middle School, so I was expelled from there. And kind of when you go through the system, they figure out a home school for you.
Okay.
And so I met her when I was in 8th grade, and my secretary, Miss Brown, who is my Facebook friend now. And it's so funny because they're like, we would listen.
Like, wow.
We know it was the Lord, okay? Because we remember you well. But just those women who put me in check, you know you can be doing better.
Right.
Get your little fast tail on in class. Those aunties and those that community that would check you, and they see better in you. My grandmothers are healers, hands down. And I always feel like my grandmothers led with wisdom that was silent and only spoken when they needed to. But I also feel like that was a lot of their trauma too. And then I think my aunt is who I did my Aunt Angie, which she's actually my best friend, my aunt's best friend. My TED Talk was based off of my relationship with her when I found out I was pregnant with my daughter.
Oh, wow.
And I think that she's seen me, and she's seen that you have potential and you are only a victim of your circumstance if you choose to be. True, you're 15 and pregnant. You're only in the 10th grade, but you have something inside of you. And I can't explain it to you now, and you're not going to understand it now, even if I could. But just know that you don't have to be what you see.
You don't have to be what you see.
And I think for me, like I said, she didn't even realize that she was speaking life, because the women in my family, I love them to pieces, but they did not have the tools. And so I think that I went through that in my early adult, maybe even late adult stages to some degree, where I was like, I'm a mother and all these things, but I still had stuff I didn't deal with. So it played a part and played out in me raising my children and being with my husband. But once I started healing, I started healing the little brown girl probably from 15, to be very honest with you. But having that community kept me on the path to not be in trouble again.
Yeah.
And it kept me in the path of staying out the way and out the streets.
Mm-hmm.
But the internal work had only begun by the time I got to my early 30s.
Yeah.
I really feel like I was feeling that 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like too, when I turned 30, it was just like, all of a sudden, there was just so much clarity.
Yes.
And everything. And I'm like, huh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that it was a level of, for me, clarity, but it also was a level of acceptance.
Mm.
It was a level of acceptance in my mid 30s.
Mm.
I'll never forget when I woke up, and I always tell this story.
Yeah.
I've been 8 years locked, so I probably was like right around 6 months to a year, maybe even. I can't even remember, but they were short, girl. They were pretty little. And so I just felt like I was just Neo in the Matrix. Remember when he started coding everything at the end? That's how I felt. I didn't want a bag. I didn't want, some tennis shoes. I just wanted peace.
Yeah.
I was tired of running from myself. And that's what I wanted. And that became the birth of Brown Girls to me.
Wow.
My own healing journey. I just wanted to be free. I wanted to accept myself. Why was the desire to fit in so important to me? Like, I just feel like that birthday was just the coding, and I've never went back since.
Wow.
I've never went back since. Yeah. Yeah. So this is why I do the work that I do, because I want them babies to get the coding way super duper early than I did.
Yes. I love that.
Yes.
Heard this thing about.
Okay.
So you spend a lot of time taking care of others as a wife, a mom, a grandma, a mentor, a leader. How do you take care of you? What are some of your favorite like self-care things to do?
I'm still trying to figure this out. I honestly I'm starting to see that I enjoy one-on-one. I think what I noticed last year, my son was in the hospital. So this was the last quarter. My son was diagnosed with a heart condition his sophomore year. He had the procedure done, had what they call an ablation, thought his heart situation was rectified, called one day, like maybe I say late October, November, he was out with his mentor, and he said, Mom, I'm having chest pain, and it feels like it felt the last time. So that was a whole 3 years later. We're like, okay, now where do we go? He's rushed to children. No, he came home and then was slotted out to Children's Hospital. And they were like, it didn't work. And we seen it on the EKG. Wow. So that was on a Sunday. Then we had a brown girl who was a part of our organization, probably around 2016, 2017, and somewhat what is it called? Pandemic, her and her family. I got a call, my daughter, who is the 17-year-old or soon to be 17-year-old, was like, Mom, I seen this girl on Instagram. People keep sharing her, and I know who she is. And I was like, okay, well, she was like, I feel like she's a brown girl, and she was shot last night. And I was like, okay, well, when you find out for sure, let me know. And if her picture comes back up, let me know. And so she comes downstairs with the phone because we was just coming home from the hospital. And lo and behold, it was one of our brown girls. And when I tell you, they were like sister cousins, because you had a group that was sisters, and then they had cousins that came with them, and the cousins was babies. And so, I think in that 72 hours, for me, I was like, if it's not serving a purpose and filling my cup, and that's the way I'm looking at life right now, if it's not filling my cup, or I'm not filling somebody else's, that is my definition of self-care. Yeah. So I love one-on-ones. Like I was like, oh, let's go to Zora's house and let's meet up. And then we still got to get that on the calendar. I am very intentional with putting people around me who love me, who fuel my dreams, who speak to my soul, who leave me feeling like my cup is overflowing after that 72 hours. Yeah. It just hit different for me. So by the time the top of the year got here, I had enough overflow that even from people who aren't at the top of my list, they got some of the overflow. Because that's what I'm learning to compartmentalize people like that too. You may not be a part of the filling process, but once the overflow is there, I have my boundaries, so I can give you some of that overflow. Yeah.
I love that. I think that's, is a form of self-care, like
Yeah.
knowing what your boundaries are
Mm-hmm.
and knowing when things are not serving you
Mm-hmm.
and being able to say no.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
And it takes I think, well, for some of us, it
Mhm.
takes a long time to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And or it takes something really eye-opening to be like,
Mhm.
I need to implement this sooner.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
'Cause I think, even me, I guess I always thought of when I think self-care, I'm like, I'm gonna get my nails done. I'm
I always
gonna
say that's
get a
maintenance.
massage, right? I've seen somebody else say that,
Yeah.
like, women need to start saying, like, your maintenance appointments are self-care. Like, girl,
Yes.
that is maintenance.
Yes. That
That
is
is
maintenance.
not self-care.
Mm-hmm.
That's the equivalent of, like, men going to get a haircut.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not self-care. It's maintaining
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. Maintaining taking care of yourself, your
Yeah.
grooming, all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, to me, self-care is one-on-one, being intentional. Now, my ideal day
Mhm.
is shower, pajamas, Harry Potter, a massy.
Oh
See,
my
that's why we
God.
synergy. That's why we
Yeah.
have synergy.
My sister got me a cup that it's the mat,
Yes.
and when it's hot water in it, the
Uh-huh.
mat like appears,
Oh,
and then when it cools off, it goes
I just got a
away.
big Hogwarts mug from is it Hobby Lobby? Or no, the home store. And it
Okay.
has all the houses on it, the house logos and all that other stuff. So when I tell you I get it,
Oh
I
my
get it.
God, I love that.
So Harry Potter all day long, a
Yeah,
massive pizza and a bottle of wine.
that
That's my
sounds
ideal.
great.
That's self-care to me. Like
Yeah.
those are moments that self-care with me.
Yes. I got my husband cut when he comes home from work. He'll be like, "You're watching Harry Potter again?" He's like, "You already know what's gonna happen." And I'm
Exactly.
like, "This is my comfort movie.
Exactly.
Like, this is me decompressing.
Yes.
I
Yes.
gotta watch Harry
I
Potter."
love that
Yes,
for you.
I love
Yes.
that.
That's a form of self-care.
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing.
Who
So
would
where,
ever know?
right?
Right.
I had Tegan take a quiz to figure out her house.
What
So
house is
she's
he?
Ravenclaw.
I am Hufflepuff.
Okay.
Okay, what house are
Okay.
you?
Gryffindor. I
Okay.
took it twice.
Uh-huh.
I took it a long time ago. And when I took it then, I felt like I was answering the questions in a
Yes.
way to make myself Gryffindor. So this time I took it again.
Yes.
And yeah, I was still Gryffindor.
Okay,
So I'm like,
cool.
okay, cool.
It's destined.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I love that.
Yes.
Yes.
So, as you think about your career as well as the organization, where do you see that going in the future? How do you see Brown Girls expanding or
I
just growing?
I really want to be to a place where we scale,
Yeah.
and where we are in different pieces and training women to do the work that we do.
Yeah.
And there's like a book
Mhm.
and a total package, and
Yeah.
you get those things and the tools, and we have
Mhm.
somebody train you, maybe
Mhm.
stay with you to facilitate for a little bit
Yeah.
here and there. But yeah, that's what I see. A
Yeah.
training academy for some amazing Black women,
That's amazing.
and being able to prayerfully have the girls who go through our program
Mhm.
speak to it, be ambassadors for our program.
Mhm.
Because I always say we are right, but people want to see the girls. They want to
Yeah.
see that
Yeah.
proof in the pudding, the seed that
Mhm.
we're planting. That's who they really want to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I see. That's what I'm believing God for.
I love that. I
Yeah.
mean, I could definitely see that. Like, I mean, similar to like a Girl Scout. Like there
Mhm.
is like a national,
Yeah.
and then there's the different
Absolutely.
troops, and you have a troop leader,
Yeah.
and it's like packaged down to
Absolutely.
do the stuff.
That's
I
the
love
goal. That's
that.
the goal.
That's amazing. So, if you could give, a piece of advice to a brown girl or a parent of a brown girl, um, what would that be?
Hmm. That's, oh my, I got to think on that one for a minute.
You're right.
Um, for a brown girl, show up as your authentic self.
Mm.
Own your space so you won't feel the need to shrink later in
Mm.
life.
Yeah.
So if you start owning it now and
Mhm.
being okay with who you are now,
Mhm.
it will be second nature for you by the time you get to high school, by the time you go to college, by the time you're in the workforce.
Mhm.
You are just like, this is me authentically. I am here to get better, but not to change.
Yeah.
And for my parents, understand that you are learning.
Mhm.
Give yourself grace. and know that your baby is looking at you and they're reliant on you. And I'm sure that's a level of pressure because it is for me.
Yeah.
And try to understand that you are doing your best.
Yeah.
Even when you feel like you're not doing your best, you are doing your best. And I have to tell myself that with my 4 children, I brought you here. I did what I was supposed to do, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. But ultimately, this is your journey, and I have to let you walk it.
Yeah.
You know, and I have to let you figure it out. So that's what I would tell. I mean, because my girls are still, they have their parents alongside of them, but just know that there will be a time, you know, where you have to say, I've done what I'm supposed to do, and I have to let them spread their wings.
Yeah.
And I was looking at a TikTok by Tabitha Brown, and she said, God gave me birds, and she said, did you know that when a bird falls out the nest, that nobody should touch it, and it's going to be okay. That's typically how they learn how to fly. And the mom, she'll bring them something to eat and things like that, but ultimately, you don't touch the bird because you can ruin the bird. Yeah. And sometimes I feel like, and this is just speaking transparently in a space of parenting adult children, you have to let them fall. Yeah. You know, my dad used to have this saying, I'd rather you skin your head than to bust your knee. Or excuse me, skin your knee than bust your head. And I didn't understand it at the time. He was like, the skin on the knee is easy, but the busting your head might be hard to come back from. Yeah. And I think for parents, letting them have that space of developing and figuring it out at an earlier age is going to be healthier for you. Yeah. I wish somebody would have told me that. Because what I feel like we do, or I say my experience, we parent from a place of trauma when we didn't have healthy relationships with our parents. Because we're trying to be like, no, I'm loving it. I validate you and I'm here for you. And I just want you to know that I'm not going anywhere, because that was our experience with our parents. But at the same time, those bumps and those bruises and those life lessons made us the women that we are sitting here. Now, I'm not saying you have to go all out and let them go through all the ringers, but finding that healthy balance and what that looks like to you. That's what I would tell my parents, for sure. Yeah.
I feel that.
Yes. I know you were just telling me about like trying to figure out that space of how we communicate. Yeah. And you had mentioned, I don't want to be so hard that I inflict trauma. Right. But I'm here to tell you, as somebody who is currently in our organizations, currently going through trauma responsive training, trauma is like microaggressions. And the reason I say that is because you may say something that in your mind was perfectly fine, but when she turns 25, like, remember that one thing you said to me? Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you didn't even know. But the beauty on the other side of that is that because you know what it's like, maybe, and I don't know, I'm putting words in my mouth, so please correct me if I'm wrong. If you never had that parent apologize to you or give you a full out sermon about why they did what they did instead of taking that level of accountability, you know you're not going to do that with her. Right. One thing I value that my children have, one of my 27-year-old, 6 months in Cooper's Hawk, or not even 6 months, probably like 90 days ago, we were in Cooper's Hawk having a tasting. And keep in mind, she's 27. And she had said, Mom, this and that, when you and Dad were going through this and that. And I just felt like I was a sister mom. Yeah. And, you know, I knew you and Dad was going to be all right, but I felt like I was holding my siblings down because y'all was just in the space. And even though, you know, you like to give yourself that gold star. Right. It was like, I couldn't do nothing but say, I'm sorry. Yeah. That was a position that you never should have been in. You know what I mean? And we were talking about it another time at brunch, and she was like, Mom, you don't even understand how many friends I had that say their parent would never say I'm sorry. She was like, my mom always, she's like, that's one thing me and my siblings will say. Like, my mom will take ownership and apologize and realize. I tell my kids all the time, I am perfectly imperfect. This is on the job training. And I'm trying to figure this out. Exactly. I am trying to figure this out and know that when you have a little person and you call me, God willing, I'm still here, I'm going to tell you to give yourself grace. You got a whole personality and they got a whole personality. And you're trying to figure this thing out. And this is what I do for a living, but I'm also practicing what I preach with my own children. Yeah. So, and this is not for the faint at heart. And I can't tell you enough that you being mindful of your tone,
Mm-hmm.
you being mindful of saying, hey, I took that,
Mm-hmm.
and I went a little ways with it. I'm
Right.
back now,
Right.
but give me some grace. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You don't even understand how that's creating a culture for her to be able to express,
Mm.
that, oh, mama, that didn't sit well with me.
Right.
That's creating that culture. And it's
Mm-hmm.
creating a culture for you to see things from her perspective and her to see
Mm-hmm.
you vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And accountability. So when it's time for her to be accountable, it's like if my mom can be accountable for
Mm-hmm.
me, then I can be accountable. And you set the tone for everybody else to be accountable to her too.
Right.
And to walk away from situations that's unhealthy or where somebody is trying to overpower her. You
Yeah.
know what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's something I always feel like I'm just being mindful, or if in the moment I just blow up, then I go back and I'm like, I meant what I said, but let me try to like say it better,
Yeah. Absolutely.
Or I'll just tell you, like, if I'm overstimulated, I'll be
Hmm.
like, right now I'm so overstimulated,
Yes.
like you're asking me a lot of questions.
Hmm.
I can't process right now. I
Absolutely.
need a second. And she'll
Yeah.
just be like, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Kids are tougher than we think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we don't give them credit for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I have been very mindful about that, but then also when I do that, I wonder like, should I not have said that? Like, am I putting too much on her to be like, oh, mom's overstimulated. Let
Well,
me,
I'm gonna ask you this:
Mhm.
how was your relationship when you seen women in your household or your family go through things? Was it silent?
No, I think I'm used to like yelling.
Okay.
Like me and my
Okay.
sister laugh about how my mom would yell at us, but
Mhm.
like we're not listening because
Mhm.
it's like,
So you
oh,
shut
she's
down.
having a moment. I'm just gonna ignore her,
Okay.
or I'm gonna like she'll. My mom would say, and don't say nothing else, and I'd
Mm.
be like, okay,
Okay. So you was
oh
active.
yeah.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Don't say no. Don't tell me
Yeah.
the last word. Okay.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that would just make her even more mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, yeah, when she was like that, we would just poke.
Mhm. Okay, so
So
y'all
that's,
poked the bear.
yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
so mine was a little different.
Mhm.
That my mom really didn't show, and my
Mhm.
grandmother didn't show emotion.
Mhm.
Um, so for me, I'm like you. I'm
Mhm.
very intentional with telling my kids where my radar is at.
Yeah.
Even in this space right now, like if you could see my family chat this morning, I was like, yo, I am irritated and I am tired of being, my favorite saying is I'm tired of being on repeat.
Right.
Um, and with that being said, like just letting them know that, okay, I'm here. I'm
Mhm.
here and there's no reason I should have to be here.
Right.
But I'm like that because my mom wasn't. My mom held a lot in,
Mhm.
and even now, to some degree, I
Mhm.
feel like she holds a lot in.
Yeah.
She tells me that she's proud of how I parent and the
Mhm.
things that me and my husband are doing differently.
Mhm.
But she also tell me like, I just didn't know. I just
Mhm.
didn't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Mom, I didn't know these things. Or, when we're talking now, I'm like, I didn't know that. I
Right.
didn't know this. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. But they came from a culture where I'm the adult, you're the child.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I move as an adult,
Yeah.
and that's how it was in my house.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm totally the opposite intentionally with my kids.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's putting too much on them. I think it makes, to me, I'm going to just say this from my
Mhm.
perspective. It makes you aware of
Mhm.
everybody besides you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? This is not all about you.
Right.
Think about how you're coming off to the people who are taking care of you. And I'm
Right.
not saying that you should have to bear the burden of like the
Mhm.
adult emotions, but you should be aware that your parents sacrifice day in and
Mhm.
day out for you.
Mhm.
And I have to be aware that the world's pressures are on you to
Yeah.
tell you everything that you're not and to tell you everything that you shouldn't be doing.
Mhm.
So it's a catch 22. We both in
Yeah.
this together,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what from my perspective, that's how I think about it. Like, I feel like I'm thinking about the long term. Then I feel bad because when she's sad, if I'm like upset, it's like, I don't
Hmm.
want you to be sad. I just want you to do what I said the first
Exactly.
time. But it's like, having her be mindful and not growing up to be a person that's so self-centered
Yes.
that you don't realize that I try to tell her everybody in this house has a role right now except for Devin. Her
Right.
role is to just be a baby.
Absolutely.
But as she gets older, she will have a role too. So if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, that falls on everybody else.
Yeah.
If you don't do what you're supposed to do, then that means somebody else has to pick up the slack.
Absolutely.
So just being mindful about the things that are your job, which is school, and just keep your room.
Yes.
That's all you gotta do.
Yes.
That's it.
Perfect role.
And so, I'm trying to think about the long term and like who she will be as a woman. I want her to be independent, strong yet soft in her femininity, but also able to check somebody about how they're treating her or how she feels.
Take
So
that space. Yeah.
It's like the hard thing, I was talking to someone else about parenting. Like, I think we really won't know if we did a good job until our kids are like grown. Sure.
That is for
and it's
sure.
like, well, now I can't go back. So you just hope, you try to give insight and be an example. Surround them with people that also want good for them.
Absolutely.
And putting them in community with other girls who are on similar paths. So that they don't have too much idle time.
Absolutely.
Consuming.
Yeah. And I think you're right on. I mean, I just feel like you don't know what's going to be the end result, but you can do your due diligence, and you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
And I'm literally, as I am telling you this, I am walking this journey, with my two oldest children. I have to be okay with where you decide to land because I've done my due diligence.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's where you trust God and always just believe that whatever journey they go on, that they're going to always return to the original path, right? Yeah. So, it's going to be okay.
Yeah. And I got you, so I'm good.
I got you too, girl, because this is community. Okay. Yes. And moms need their own community.
Yeah.
I say that all the time. I don't think people realize that just like you have childhood trauma, you have parent trauma.
Yeah.
It is a real thing because you are trying to navigate in a space that you are unfamiliar territory, and you hoping that you get it right, right? And so, and also realizing that they can give you heart palpitations that you never thought you would have before.
Yeah, I'll be telling her, like, look, you know what? I haven't took my blood pressure meds yet. We'll deal with this later. Like, just go.
Yes.
You're not about to make me have a heart attack.
And trying to find your peace in it all. Like, I know at one point in time, again, I told you their ages. So they're 26, 19, 18, and soon to be 17. I can remember having postpartum after Isaiah, which he's the 18-year-old. I would have anxiety. I would have just unnatural thoughts, unhealthy thoughts. Not so much about harming him, but that harm was going to come his way. I was just super paranoid. And I had to, it was a man. Actually, I was going in and out the hospital. And my phone won't eat. I'll never forget this little Asian doctor. God love you. He said, if we give you one more MRI, you're going to glow in the dark. He said, you go. He said, that's how much you've been here. Because I felt like my heart was going to jump out of my chest, and I didn't know what anxiety was, and I didn't know what anxiety attacks or panic attacks were. And so when he said that, he said, I think you need to get into therapy. I think you probably have postpartum, and it's just showing up in a different form. It's not your quote unquote depression or laying around or possibly thinking about hurting your children or anything like that. It's showing up different in you. And so, but just the fact that he's seen me and he's seen that there was something there, and my husband didn't know, he probably was going through his own postpartum because we literally had one child and then found out we was pregnant like 8 weeks after, or like going back to my 6-week checkup with Isaiah. So there we was like, what? We didn't know we were this fertile. So we probably all just in a state of shock. But so then Isaiah gets here, and that was my experience with him. And then with Jay, which is our youngest daughter, I was getting ready to get my tooth tied.
Oh wow!
And I found out
he got a vasectomy, but then found out his wife was pregnant.
Yeah. So that in itself was a sticker shocker because I'm like, I didn't bond with her when she got here. So again, I think that parents have their own trauma too. So it took about 6 months with the love of my grandmother and my mom to be there and make sure that I was healthy mentally.
Yeah.
As healthy as I could be anyway. Getting myself into therapy, relying on my source of strength, which I'm not a Bible thumper, but I am to some degree. Really tapping into my religion, or I should say my beliefs.
Yeah.
That helped out a lot. And I'm still an advocate in therapy every 2 weeks, sometimes every week, depending on the climate. And it's something that you have to be okay with saying, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
Or you have to be okay with how you talk about your work. I literally had a situation yesterday. I said, I'm not going to open my laptop. My husband looked at me and was like, I got done making dinner, and I was like, I just want to see what they said. Yes, because it was about a funder. And so, and we had some documentation we had to submit. And this has been a long thing for about a week now. And I was like, because I'm thinking, what do I have to do the next day that I can put some of these things in motion that before tomorrow gets here. But like you, I desire to have that quote unquote work life harmony. That's what I call it. I don't even call it balance. Yeah, but just seeing those type of things within myself, and then I'm in a stage of parenting that I'm more in the passenger seat than the driver's seat. So I'm that way with my first two, and then my youngest two I'm still responsible for. Yeah. Because we have a senior and a junior. And then the business itself, organization is growing and scaling by leaps and bounds that I was like, okay, we are literally building the plane and flying it. Yeah. So it's a blessing, but asking myself, am I doing the right things? Am I too old to be doing the work I'm doing? When I tell you, it's real out here. And I feel like women who are in business should be transparent. Yeah. Not just in business, but in your career, because you want sisters coming behind you to know that it's not just you and that you're going to be
we all are trying to figure it out. Like no one, I had a friend when I first started, she was 10 years in, and she's like, you're going to feel like you're trying to figure it out forever. That's what makes you an entrepreneur. Yeah. Because you're never satisfied with the status quo. Yeah. So you might hit a goal and then you're like, great, what's my next goal now? Absolutely. That's why, we have that entrepreneur spirit, because we're not going to be, we'll be happy and comfortable and all that, but we're not going to be settled when we know, like, okay, well, if this is what I could do, then maybe I could take this to another level, Yes. I love her advice. So she needs to have some flowers or some chocolate sent to her, because that's a word that's going to continue to live on. But yeah, it's for real. It is a real thing. And I like, you don't even know that just blessed my soul. Yeah. Because I'm always thinking, like, are we making impact? Are we doing the right thing? Is this our system? And make sure that in the horse race or in the race that you keep your blinders on, and that you're not looking over here and looking over there, to make sure, because you got to run your own race, and our starting points are never the same. Exactly. And so it took me a minute to also coach myself into that mindset too. Being in business, like, you can't look at them. You have to focus on what God has put in front of you. And you have to understand that your starting place are not the same. Not the same. Yeah. And I think we all have to do a better job at holding each other and giving each other grace as business owners. I was telling someone else, they were talking about, Black business owners, and I'm like, Chick-fil-A will probably never get your order wrong. But if you went to McDonald's and they forgot something, you're not going to stop going. Right. You're going to go back. Absolutely. So, when it comes to your experiences with Black business owners, you don't got to put them on blast on social media. Just email them one-on-one and be like, hey. Absolutely. I had this experience. Like, talk to them. Yeah, for sure. Because a lot of us are doing our best. Absolutely. And like, you're not going to help the situation by of course, if somebody, if it's something egregious, fine. Right. But if somebody forgot something, or didn't respond, even if they missed your invoice, maybe they truly just didn't see it. I get so many emails all the time. Well, like, just tap me again. Like, don't, you don't have to do that. I think that we need to just give each other more grace. A lot of us are
Mm-hmm.
first generation. I mean, I'm first generation everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like if I make a mistake in
Mm-hmm.
business, like it will charge it to my head.
Absolutely, absolutely. And understanding I'm perfectly imperfect.
Yeah.
You know, and you are too.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing, realizing.
Right.
I think for me at this ripe age of 43, learning in therapy to breathe
Mhm.
doesn't need an immediate response.
Mhm.
Um, what would you have happen? How would you ideally let this play out?
Yeah.
Um, and it's okay if you choose to sit it down or table it for now.
Mhm. Mhm.
I've had some situations where that has happened. And I've
Mhm.
also had some situations being in business where I realized that, okay, this is somebody who desires not to work with anybody. So let
Mhm.
me respect that.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that I have to speak bad on your name. That just means that you aren't in my fave five.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's okay.
Mhm.
And that's okay. I
Mhm.
understand that. And I think that is definitely through healing and therapy, because
Mhm.
we always in the book, the Four Agreements, life
Mhm.
changing book. I got that for my son's senior year
Okay.
for all of his graduation parties that he would go to, and I gave him $20.
Oh wow.
And I was like, my inscription was like, this book is for the days that you wonder what is going on in your life. And I believe, because I believe that book is so life changing, and it's 4 principles that are so eye opening. And I'm sure if you started it at 9 a.m., you'll be done by 12.
Wow.
It's that deep. And it's something that is like a pillar to me, those 4 agreements. But one of them that always sticks out before I dive deep into my thought process of my situation or people who I'm dealing with is don't take anything personal.
Yeah.
Because most of the time it has
I had to work through
absolutely.
that because I take
Yeah.
it, and then I like imagine like I wonder if they're still thinking about this thing that I said or
Yes.
said wrong, or oh God, there they go. Are they gonna be
You
mad?
hyping yourself
Yeah,
up.
right.
It's all in your head.
Right.
Yes. And I mean, and even I think it's natural to be that,
Mhm.
to talk yourself off the ledge.
Yeah.
Because I still have those moments, you know.
Mhm.
But I also have those moments where I'm like, it's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
What is the worst that can happen? You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
But that book, if you haven't read it, The Four Agreements, amazing.
Yeah, I gotta read
Amazing.
that.
Yeah, my son was like, so you getting everybody that for, I said, yes, so whatever barbecue you going, they got $20, $25 in this book.
So you
Cause that,
get coffee and a
yes,
little treat and read your
absolutely,
book.
absolutely. And that book is life changing. It really
Yes,
is.
I gotta
Yeah.
read that.
Please do. Let me know when you do. Yes. By the way, I see you got Woman Evolve over there.
Yes,
That book is
I have
amazing.
the other one I got from the library, the new one, Power Moves. I'm
Yes.
reading that right
Okay,
now.
so I have that on Audible, so I
Yeah,
just started that not too long
yeah.
ago. Yeah.
But you know, I need to get into audiobooks too because it
Mhm.
takes me a long time to like
Yes.
read a book.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like start and stop, start and
That's
stop.
me.
Yeah.
That's me. So I've learned I have a copy by the
Mhm.
bed, and then I
Mhm.
have my Audible in the car when I'm at the gym.
That's smart. That's smart.
Yes. Yep. So I completely understand. Yeah, this is good.
Thank you so much. How can people connect with you, find you, learn about Brown Girl?
Okay, so browngirlsmentoring.org.
Yeah.
Definitely our website. And for me, I'm on LinkedIn, and Brown Girls Mentoring is on LinkedIn. Facebook, I guess. You know, I'm on there, but my page is open, but I'm not active right now. But Brown Girls Mentoring, Instagram, we be popping on Instagram. Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Look, I'm like, we've been trying to figure this marketing thing out for a minute.
Listen, I share
But
everything I see.
thank
Share,
you.
share, share.
Thank
Yes.
you.
And make sure you do the same.
Yes.
Look at the description of this video, or if you're listening to the podcast, check out the description to get the links to everything. Jamie, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.